Hello, everybody. It is 4 o'clock, and so I'm going to call to order the hearing upon the application of Paul and Margaret Schmidt at 77 Morton Road through their attorney, Marion McKettrick, dated July 16th, 2026, seeking a special permit to build an 8.42 foot by 22.33 foot left side addition to the existing structure and a 12-foot by 24-foot deck to the right side of the existing structure. The property is located in a Residence C zoning district, whereas the new proposed project would expand the nonconformity, adding one story and creating a new 12-foot by 24-foot deck with an 8-foot 0.6-inch setback on the right side lot line. The permit request was denied by the Milton Zoning Board. Require a special permit to proceed. This has been this was written somewhat in error, and so we are not looking at anything to the right side of the property, which is a conforming 10-foot setback, and any building conforms to that, current as well. We will be looking at basically an extension to the back of this home, and meaning that it has to have a left side as well as a right side. The left side of the home is already 8.42 feet from their neighbor's lot line, and they are asking to build. Wait a minute. They're asking to build just another 8.42 feet behind the building, but it will still have the same setback as before. So I just wanted to clarify that because it was a little bit confusing. When you look at it, it looks like we're looking at the right and we're really looking at the left on this hearing. So my name is Virginia Donahue King. I'm the zoning administrator and member of the Board of Appeals, and I'll be hearing this singly as a single person decision maker this afternoon. And within this application, or this file, I have the application to the Board of Appeals, which also has the denial letter from our building inspector. It has a nice 4-page letter that explains the situation of what the applicants are proposing to do with their home, and why we should let it happen. And there's a plot plan showing the current structure as well as shaded in portions for the proposed construction. There are floor plans and elevations of the current house as well as what the proposed house looks like. We have a lot of that. When we get to the next, we have a quitclaim deed that shows that the applicants are in fact the owner of this property. We have a map of the neighborhood showing the location of this plot of land in the neighborhood. We have a more detailed map showing the actual buildings and the addresses that go along with them. There's the property record card from Milton Town Hall, and we also have letters of support from neighbors at 65 Morton Road, who I believe is the that's the property most affected by this application. At 78 Morton Road, 86 Morton Road, 87 Morton Road, and 75 Canton Avenue. So I'm going to turn this over to Attorney McKettrick and see what we have going on here and what you propose to do. And your letter is very explanatory and lovely. So
thank you. Thank you very much. I'm Mary McKettrick. I am representing the applicants, Paul and Margaret Schmidt. And there's been some back and forth on this application. The applicants originally thought they would not need zoning relief. They did go ahead and apply for their building permit. Then the building commissioner changed his determination, and that's why we're here today. There was an error, as Virginia King has pointed out, there was an error in the notice for the hearing, because the only nonconformity here proposed and under consideration here is the corner edge of the back of the addition to the kitchen. The kitchen is replacing the kitchen is replacing part of a deck and stairs, and then a new deck is replacing the rest of the deck. But the applicants were very careful not to place the deck less than 10 feet from the side lot line. So the deck is actually indented more than the house is. So on both sides, the house is non-conforming, but the deck on that side is not non-conforming. So we're only dealing with one non-conformity. It's the corner of the kitchen. It's actually a total of 8.24 square feet of additional non-conforming area being added here. And the distance along the lot line of extension is 4.12 feet. And that extension, that extended distance, just replaces where there are already stairs going into the yard from the old deck. However, the building code doesn't count stairs for setback purposes. So when the applicants chose to build an addition in the same place as the stairs, they then had an additional nonconformity, or conceivably you could call it an intensification of the existing nonconformity, because it goes a little bit further into the rear yard. It's a very small area of nonconformity. And I think that's one reason this went back and forth in terms of, does it need zoning relief? Does it not need zoning relief? But in any case, we're here today. And I'm not going to go into more detail on, I think it's de minimis, probably could have been approved with the building permit. But that's a discretionary decision by the building commissioner. We certainly feel that this is a very small increase in the nonconformity. And there are several reasons why the increase is really less detrimental, possibly, to the neighbor on that side, because the applicants are extending their kitchen. So they're creating a straight wall on that side, going back at the additional 4.12 feet. And that'll be a nice uniform straight wall. And then it actually, to a certain extent, hides the rest of the deck that's on the other side of the kitchen addition. So right now there's a deck, I guess, that goes past across the back of the house. When the addition is in place, then the deck will not be as visible to the neighbor on the non-conforming side of the kitchen. That, I think, could be viewed as a benefit to everybody, but the design wasn't necessarily, well, I'm not the architect. I'm not, I think the reason the design is what it is because the applicants need a certain area for their kitchen addition, and they wanted it to be square, and they, it would not have been sufficient if they'd had to cut it back that additional distance going back towards the house. So it is a carefully designed single-story kitchen extension. So they're not adding a second story. They're just adding part of a additional single story going back into the rear yard, replacing a deck. And the applicant's argument is that this will not be substantially more detrimental than the existing condition and will, in fact, provide greater privacy for the neighbors on that side. You've already read off the names of all the neighbors. All of the surrounding neighbors have provided letters of support. And I want to say, too, that these applicants consulted me before they even bought the house to look at, some of the zoning constraints, and worked pretty hard to try to do create minimal intrusion with their renovation plan. So it's taken a long time. It's kind of unfortunate because this is actually one of the lesser applications I've ever seen. So we respectfully request that you consider granting the relief that's requested. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any other people that wanted to speak in favor or against this project?
There are no hands right now.
Well, that sounds good. Then I'm going to close the evidentiary portion of the hearing and decide on this right now. As Attorney McKettrick said, this really is a very minimal increase into the prescribed area. It will be probably more private for both sides of the fence, as you will. If there's no fence there, I don't believe, but the neighbors to the left will have less windows looking at them. No, and they won't have to be looking at what's going on a deck either. So there's some privacy on the deck. So this I think is a win-win situation for the applicants as well as the neighborhood. I see that there's no increased detriment to the neighborhood whatsoever, and therefore I'm awarding you the special permit for this project.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Do you want me to draft something to send you to work on for the decision?
That would be great. I would thank you for that. Yes.
Be happy to do it. Thank you very much.
Well, good luck with your project and enjoy that kitchen.
I did want to interrupt and ask whether you need to ask. I don't believe there's anyone else in attendance, but did you need to ask if anyone else? Oh, you did. I guess you did. Yeah.
When have you heard?
You
Yeah.
asked if anyone wanted to speak, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we're all set. Thank you. Sorry.
Or against. Or
Thank you.
against.
And
So
if I
good
could
luck
just,
with your project. Yes.
if I could just jump in and say thank you very much. And I do believe actually our neighbor Mario Marsano is on. So he can say anything if he'd like to.
He has not raised his hand to do so.
Well, I think his letter speaks for itself at any rate. And
Great.
it's great that he's shown the support for this project by signing on to Zoom tonight with us. So thank you,
Yes.
Mario.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
And we'll close this hearing. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good evening, all.